Okay, so here's a bubble sort. It's called a bubble sort because the largest number will bubble up to the top, and it does that by comparing the element next to that. Then if that's larger, then we'll go to the next one after that, and so on and so forth. And then we'll keep on going through and check all the elements until it's sorted out from smallest to largest in ascending order. So we'll go through this now. So the first things we need to know, we've got 4 elements. So we've got our 4 elements here. Okay, and so element 1 has a value of 37, element 2 has a value of 15, element 3 has 18, and element 4 has a value of 9. So we'll go through this. So begin, pass equals 1, so while pass equals 1, put that there. Number of elements we know is 4, and that doesn't change. We can put this in here, so pass 1, element 4, current equals 1 there, so we'll put 1 here and 1. And so when we're doing the desk check, we only have to put the new numbers in there if they change. We don't have to just continuously do that, which you'll see here. So when it says current plus 1, the current value doesn't change, which gets a little bit confusing, but what we write in here is only the variables that we use. So we have a variable called pass, we have a variable called number of elements, we have a variable called current, and a variable called temp. So they're the only variables that we use in this desk check. Okay, so now we move down here, we know 1 is less than 4, which is our number of elements. And then if array element current is 1, and 1 has a value of 37, so we're comparing now the value in number 1 versus so is greater than the value in number 2, and number 2 has a value of 15. Then, of course that's true, we go in here. So we write the value of 37, so because that's the position 1 current, becomes temp, which is 37. And then next, what it's going to do, it's going to write that second position to position number 1, because we will need to swap those positions around. So current equals plus 1 equals 2, 15. So now the current one, which is position 1, becomes 15, not 37. And because we've used this temp variable, now we can write that to position number 2. So temp equals 37, and position number 2 now is 37, not 15. So we can update that here. So we're still in the pass 1. That's moved. Make that a bit neater for you. Is it pass 1? 15 is now there. 37 is now in position number 2. Okay, and then now, so currently we're number 1, for our current value, and we're going to increment that to number 2, so now it becomes number 2, and our temp value that we used before was 37. Okay, so now we're going to just stay in this loop. Here, we're not going out to the outside one, so while in this loop it's going to go through each of the elements in that array. So now what it's going to do is check position number 2, so we can change current here is now number 2, and it's still number 4 elements, that stays as is. Now other options are now, so current number 2, you can just update that because number 2 is a value of 37. Number 3, this time we're doing our calculation on. And number 3, rub these out here. So number 3, because 2 is the current, plus 1 equals 3, equals 18, which is there. And that's true. 37 is greater than 18, so we move that position around. So we'll get our current position, which is number 2, 37. So 37 gets written into temp again. This time we go to position 3 and we're going to move that to position 2. Number 2 now becomes 18. And so our current plus 3 now becomes 37. So we change our current to number 2. Our temp is still 37. And now in position 2, it's been changed to 18. 37 is now in position 3. And then we come down to here and we increment 2 to number 3. So just add in 1 each time when we do the increment. So I'll rub out the parts that we're going to overwrite. Overwrite that. So now we're going to do number 3. So current equals 3. There's still 4 elements. So if current position is now 37, so 3, 37. Sorry, 37. And plus 1, so 3 plus 1 equals 4. Position 4 equals 9. We can see there. We know 37 is bigger than 9. So position of 3, 37 gets written to temp again. Here we go, 3, 37. And then we go to the 4th position and we're going to swap that to the 3rd position. So 4, 9 now equals 3, 9. And then, so what that's saying is now that both of them have a value of 9, but then we're going to overwrite the 4th position now with our value in temp. So that is 37, becomes number 4, 37. And then we come down here, and because our values hasn't changed there, they stay is, but we do change it to the number 4. So 4 here. And so now we can finish our little table over here for our first pass. Of course, there's no more elements, and we know up here where it says 4, and this loop here goes while current number is 4, so it's not less than 4 anymore for the number of elements. We know that what's going to happen is we're going to come out of that first loop and come down to increment pass. So increment pass, so 1 now is going to get incremented up 1 to 2. So we'll just fix that up. So our current stays there as 4. We come here now to pass 2. There's still 4 elements because there's no change. And we'll finish this table off here. That now has become 9, and this one is 37. Okay, so we now know that this has been sorted. So position 4 isn't going to change. There's no other bigger number than that. So what we can do is write down 37 in each of these. It doesn't change at all. Okay, so I'll clear that out, and we'll start again for the next lots. Okay, so this is pass 2. We'll do it in blue. So we know pass now has become 2, not 1. I'll change N. Okay, so 2, pass, number of elements still stay the same. Current, now we're going back to 1. So current now becomes 1. We'll write that in there because it's changed. While current, which is 1, is less than number 4. We know that's true, so we go into this condition. And now current is 1, which equals 15. So now we're working off this pass here, our results from there. So we know 15 is greater than 18 in position 2, and that is false. 15 is less than 18, so because of that it comes straight down here and goes to the next current number. So it goes from current 1 now to number 2. Okay, so now this is still the second pass, but now we're in the next position. I'm just going to write it here in a different color. So current now equals 2, elements of 4, that's true. So now we're going to change these out. So pass to 15 stays where it is because it's smaller than 18, but now it's going to work with the number 18 because we know number 18 is bigger than 15, so it has to be in a higher position than 15. So now currently we're at position 2 equals 18, and current await plus 1, so that is 3, and in position 3 equals 9. And we know 18 is greater than 9, so this time we come down into this and we swap we add the value of our current position, so to 18 to temp, so temp becomes 18. So we now got that down here, so number 2, 18. Okay, now we're going to swap these positions around. So the smaller one, 3, 9, goes to the second position, 9, and then 37, number 18 moves to position 3. 3 moves to 18. Okay, so then we move down, we go increment current, so now current becomes 3. So I'll add that in here. So what we can write down in here is now that they've swapped positions, so 9 and 18. But it's still going to go through and check those values again for the last two just to be safe. So what it does, it goes back up here in this loop. So this time go with green. The current now equals 3. 4 elements are still the same. We'll rub these out. Okay, so if current element, which we're current is 3, which has a value of 18, is greater than 37, which we know is not because that's position 4 equals 37, is false. So then we come straight down here out of the if, that gets up to number 4, and we go up to here, so current becomes 4, and 4 is not less than 4, so then because of that we go down to this next pass down here. And so pass gets incremented to 3, so we update that here, so we go 4, and then we come to pass 3. Then we'll clear that out for you. Okay, so now we are on pass 3. So pass 3 now. 4 elements, we know that's still true. Current equals 1, which is good. While current is 1 less than 4, we're going to go through all of those. 1, this time it's 15, and we go to check if that's greater than the next number at position 2, which is 9. Since that's true, 15 is greater than 9. We go and now we put position number 1, 15, to our temp variable, 15. We then swap position 2 with number 1, so 2, 9, now becomes 1, 9, then temp, which is 15, now gets moved to position 2, 2, 15. And then we're on 1, so then we go now to 2. And we continue to do that again. So now 9 goes here, 15's here. We know 18's already sorted, so we can put that in there. And that's not going to change anymore. So we've effectively completed the desk check. So, but to do it fully, we'll do that. So current, we go 1. Our value is 15 there. And then it will continue to go through. So it will check if they're all there. So We know 15 is less than 18. We know that 18 is less than 37. So we've finished that because it's all only 4 numbers. So effectively we can just go 2, 3, 4. None of them are going to change. And then of course once that pass gets up to number 4, it knows that we've finished, and then it comes down to this end statement. Hope that's helpful and is clear and makes it desk checking slightly easy for you. Bye. I've finished. Please work.